Hey there, Rodney back again. Hey, I've gotten a lot of questions here recently about some of the things that I've done to both of my bikes, and I'm going to do individual reviews. This one's going to be on the 2019 YZ450FX. And so, first thing I've done, obviously you can see there, says factory connection. So, when I got the bike, I guess if you're riding at extreme fast pace or if you're racing, probably not that big a deal. But I thought it was a little harsh in the very beginning of the stroke. So I had it revalved by factory connection and made a world of difference. It really softened up the initial part of the stroke, didn't lose anything in bottoming resistance or anything of that nature. So everybody will tell you that the KYB suspension is a phenomenal suspension to begin with. So I totally agree with that, and especially now that after I've done the revalve. Changes I made to the bike. I put in some ASV unbreakable levers, put on the ODI grips that I like. Other than that, not a lot. I did obviously have to put on FMF 4.1 so that I had the restrictor in there, or I should say the spark arrestor, so that I could ride in the woods. Recently changed this chain, changed this sprocket, put a Chirby's chain block on there. That's really about all I've done to the bike. Put some graphics on it. Obviously, that's more for my touch, my feel. Let's talk about the bike. First off, talk about tires for a second. So it comes with the Dunlop MX3S tires. The front tire is actually pretty good, and the back tire, when it was brand new, got great traction. But I've got about 15 hours on the bike now, and I don't know if you can see it well enough. Not much light in here. Tread's actually wearing down pretty quick. And it's funny, the MX3S has 36 knobs in the center here, where the MX3S only has 33. So I'm actually just ordered a MX33 to replace this one. And then it has the center line here on the edge has 39 on the MX33, where this one only has 36. So I think a little more tread will actually help out in the rocky and route conditions that I ride in. If you're running only on a track, this might be fine in the soft dirt. People have asked me, they said, hey, if you had to choose bikes, you have a 2-stroke, you also have this 4-stroke. If you had to choose one bike to ride all the time, what would you choose? It's a really tough question. The 2-stroke is great for the woods, especially if you're doing any tight technical stuff. In the single track, 2-stroke is definitely the way to go. If you're in a little more wide open terrain, I really like the 4-stroke. The other benefit too, and I had a CRF 450RX, and man, that thing was just a bear. The mapping on that bike is really tough. It's got a really on-off feeling in the very beginning, and mine was a 2017 model. Once you got past that, it didn't matter what map mode you were riding in. It just seemed like it hit too hard, too fast, and it was really jerky. And as soon as you come around a corner, and then it opened up, and it just like a sprint from there. And so it was tough to ride. So I finally got rid of that. I had motor issues, was the biggest reason I got rid of it, but decided to go to this 2019 YZ450FX. Biggest benefit to this bike is you can map it the way you want it. Comes with a power tuner app that you have for your phone, and once you go through there, you can change and put as many maps on there as you want to. I tried the Travis Preston map on there. I tried the Travis Preston 2.0 map. I actually took an MX map that was already on there and took a Travis Preston map and kind of combined the two and kind of altered it the way I wanted, and I really love that map. And so it's great. It's not too much right off the bat, right as soon as you crack the throttle, but it definitely opens up quick, and I like that feeling. I've got about 15 hours on the bike. Obviously, no bike is perfect. Things I like about the bike, like I said, I like the ability to change the power tuner app. You got adjustability there. It's kind of like having 4, 5, 6, maybe even 7 bikes in one, just depending on how many maps you want to load on there. You do have a map switch, and map switch is right here. You can only load 2 maps on the bike at one time, but with the power tuner app, you've got all kinds of accessibility to different maps. You can go in there and see how many hours you have on the bike. You can write down scheduled maintenance that you've done to the bike. and put any notes. So for instance, if you were racing and you wanted to put specific notes for one track, you could go in there and do that. And then the next time you go to the track, whether you have clicker adjustments or what have you, it makes it so much easier. So I think Yamaha was definitely a ways ahead of everybody else when it comes to that. I really love the power characteristic. It's a great motor. Have not had any trouble whatsoever. The other thing we'll talk about here for a second. So on the Honda CRF 450RX that I had, the gas tank, the way it's designed, the gas tank actually comes up here. And so your overflow or overfill area is kind of up here. And so it makes it top heavy. And so when you go in to lay it into a corner, it really wants to lean over quickly once you get to a certain point. On the Yamaha, your tank is right here. So here's your normal tank. And then because this is the FX version, you got an additional tank that drops down here. So all it does is lowers your center of gravity and makes it a lot more better handling. Another thing that I love about the bike, it's not a hydraulic clutch, but man, this spring clutch is actually just as easy, if not easier, than my hydraulic clutch and my KTM. And I've not had any problem with it fading. That was another issue I had with the Honda, is it had a tendency to fade pretty quick. And so, no problems there. Obviously no bike is perfect. So what do I not like about the bike? It's heavy. It's heavy compared to a KTM. You know, once you kind of get past that, like I said, it is an easy maneuverable bike. And the other thing I've heard people say too is that, you know, on certain bikes, and I've even heard them say this about the KTM 450, they said the way the engine revs, it feels slow in the beginning. And so it doesn't have a tendency, even though it's lighter in weight, sometimes they say that it actually feels like it's heavier than some of the other bikes. And so with this, because it's a quick revving, and there again, you can take or make the characteristic the way you want it. You can set it up where it actually revs a lot quicker. And so when you do that, the bike is more flickable. It seems to get around quicker, and you can kind of use that power the way you need it to get in and out of a corner and get on down the trail. Brakes. So for whatever reason, the YZ has always had a really spongy brake. I had really good luck with the CRF 450RX. I like the brakes on that on the front. I love the KTM brakes. They don't make a better brake than the Brembo brakes. Back brake was perfectly fine on this and not had any issues, but still not sure why they make them so spongy in the front. May look at, you know, switching out a caliper there at some point, or the master cylinder up here on the front for the brake. I may just switch that out to something different. But gosh, other than that, I love the bike. There again, if I had to pick one bike, I would say, well, it all depends on the type of area that you're going to ride in. I ride two different types of areas, and you can see in my videos, I ride Huckleberry Flats a lot, and that area is really opened up. You know, you can go out there and the trails are open. You know, you can get some places to be in 4th and 5th gear, where a lot of times when I ride at shotgun, I won't say it's tight technical, because there is some open trails, but it's more rocky. You're going to be going at a lot slower speeds most of the time than what you would have at Huckleberry. And so there again, you know, for two different reasons, you know, I love the YZ when it's a little more open and you can get out and let the thing run. But, you know, like I said, if I was riding only in the woods and tight technical stuff, I would probably go with the KTM. So I know that's not a definitive answer, but hopefully that helps somebody make a decision what bike would be best for them. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave comments. Please like and share if you think somebody else could benefit from this video. And thanks for the comments, and I have fun doing this. Thanks again. Bye.